In Call of Dragons, every single season when new hero comes out, it matters which generation hero it is, because legendary tokens are sometimes generationally restricted, right? In this video, we are going to rate generation 4 heroes because I have already done generation 1, generation 2, and generation 3. Of course, currently, latest legendary heroes are generation 5, but let's go for generation 4 and next one will be generation 5. Why it's so important to know which heroes are best ones for the current generation, because it will be easier for players to invest their legendary tokens, or not only legendary tokens but also some funds, right? Because not always every hero is good, not always every new hero is the best, so if you already know which ones are great, you are already making a value investments in Call of Dragons. It's important especially for free-to-play players. So here I'm gonna say which are the generation 4 heroes, right? Uma and Lake 1 is generation 4 infantries, Youngming and Gromara is generation 4 mages, Falgrim and Sibyl is generation 4 archers, and Leah and Neya is generation 4 cavalry heroes. Out of all these heroes, I understand that every single one of them are different troop type, but they have a different power level, right? Some of them are OP, some of them are good, and some of them are bad, especially in open field PvP, right? So we have C tier, we have B tier, A tier, and S tier. S tier basically means that this hero or hero pair is must have and you have to awaken them, right? So basically, I'm going to start with the C tier, right? And generally, whenever we are talking about open field PvP, we want to have all the heroes in S and A tier, which all the skills are viable in open field gameplay, which are basically PvP heroes, right? So on the C tier, you might see some rally heroes, you might see some garrison heroes, but that's only because they have -1 skill for open field PvP. So basically on C tier, I'm going to put Sibyl. Sibyl is nice, but not that mandatory, especially for free-to-play players and even more for pay-to-pay players. Sibyl is the rally hero. I understand the 4th skill, which is giving us defense break, has amazing synergy with Kinara, but basically that's it, right? This hero is focused mainly on a rallying, and that's why in open field PvP it's not as impressive as this one should be, right? Yeah, Sibyl is not the only hero which I'm going to put on C tier. I'm going to put Leah also, but I believe Leah is much better than Sibyl. Leah is garrison hero. I understand some garrison heroes are really important, but actually, whenever we are speaking about open field PvP heroes, merit getter heroes, Leah is not that impressive, right? I understand for the 5 cavalry march, when you are sinking the speed of the marches, you kinda have to utilize all the heroes, but honestly, since we are talking about the best ones, even in G4 heroes, there are much better rally heroes and much better garrison heroes, in my opinion, right? So yeah, basically, Leah and Sibyl will be my C tier. This might be the only heroes which are going to be on a C tier. So yeah, that's the only reason, because they have one less skills, and the other skills are not that impressive, which makes them C tier in my opinion, right? Let's go and let's move forward to B tier, right? On a B tier, I have one hero which I believe should be here, and that's Falgrim, right? Of course, we have to compare all of these heroes to other G4 heroes, and I will be honest, as an archer player since the day one archer main, Falgrim was never a game changer. Falgrim was the first archer hero which was dealing damage to multiple targets, but Fulgrim is not better than Magrat and Zaida. Fulgrim is not better than, of course, the newest Archer heroes, and I believe Fulgrim is not better than Kuma, Lake One, Yu Ming, and even Gromara, right? That's my honest opinion about Fulgrim, but as always, if you are a real fighter, you want to be utilizing 5 marches at the same time. That's when you are actually getting the highest amount of merits for your account, and that's why I believe having one Fulgrim hero pair out of the 5, it will still do its job, but it's not game changer, it's not must have, and it's not must have an awaken, right? If you are Archer player, of course, you are at some point going to focus on Fulgrim, but if you are generally looking for the best heroes for each generation and each troop type, I believe Fulgrim won't gonna be a top 2 or even top 3 in either ways, right? So that's why I believe Fulgrim will be the B tier of for us, and there is one more hero which I'm going to put on a B tier, and that's Gromara, right? Gromara, Garrison hero, I believe, yeah, Gromara can do even more than Fulgrim, especially in open field PvP, because finally mages got the amazing hero pair, such as Youngmin and Gromara. Youngmin can be used on many different hero pairs in the game. Gromara not. Gromara is basically OP, especially in Garrison strategies, but still, you might say Gromara is A tier, Gromara is B tier. Gromara can be B plus easily. So if you're gonna place Gromara as an A tier or B tier, I would say you have a same way of looking at the Call of Dragons as me, right? And honestly, I believe this will be the only 2 heroes which we are going to put on a B tier, right? Let's easily go and let's easily move towards A tier, and here, of course, we are going to have even stronger heroes in open field PvP, right? One hero which I want to put here, which is a rally hero, but simply because the synergy behind the hero pair, especially in G4s, make this hero pair really, really valuable, not only for rallies, but also in open field PvP. It's tanky enough, it does a lot of damage, and that's all you want to have on your infantry hero. Lake 1 will be my first A tier hero, which is for sure going to be there. You could easily say Lake 1 can be S tier, but I believe S tier is something different, something OP, and Lake 1 because of having -1 skill for open field, but it doesn't really mean that it's bad, right? Other skills are so good that I want to have Lake 1 on A tier. I was even thinking that Lake 1 can be S tier easily, right? So yeah, Lake 1, one of the best infantry heroes in the game, especially with the hero pair with Kuma and Lake 1. If you want to have open field hero pair, Kuma will be primary. If you want to go for the rally, Lake 1 will be the primary hero, right? We have one more hero in A tier, in my opinion, and that's Nea, right? I was underestimating Nea's power if you understand how to play with this one march with Nea because of the camouflage. But of course, Nea has some weaknesses. Nea can be low really, really easily. Like, for example, whenever I'm playing archers and I see Nea moving around, I always try to focus on Nea, and hell, HP of Nea drops faster than basically any other cavalry hero pair. That's basically negatives, but also positives. Nea can deal huge amount of damage, one of the highest damage dealing heroes in the game, and also you have to understand how to play with this hero, right? It's not just click on your opponent and rush. You have to play around with camouflage. Basically, camouflage is same thing as invisibility in Call of Dragons. So imagine if you understand how to use this invisibility in Call of Dragons, especially with the highest march speed, the troop type in the game, then honestly you are going to have a lot of fun, and of course you are going to get a lot of merits by this one hero, right? Of course, hero pairs can be different, but most important in those hero pairs are of course Nea and its camouflage, which is basically invisibility in Call of Dragons, right? So yeah, I believe this will be the only two heroes which gonna stay here. Nea will be the better one than Lake 1 because Nea is much better for the cavalry in open field PvP. Plus, Nea is PvP hero, right? Finally, we go to the S tier, and as I said at the start of the video, S tier are basically the heroes which are OP. S tier is basically heroes which are must have, and especially if your main troop type is on a S tier, you have to awaken those heroes, right? And yeah, as I said, when I was speaking about Lake 1, there is one important hero for infantry players, and I'm really surprised because Goreshen's Kogul was already OP, and I could not really understand what kind of hero they could make which would be better than Goreshen's Kogul and even Lake 1, and that's of course Kuma, right? Kuma is a different style of hero in Call of Dragons, especially for infantry. It doesn't really have too much defensive stats, but what Kuma has is basically healing, a life drain. So whenever you're gonna be attached to your opponent, dealing damage, you are going to drain life so much that it will be a feeling that it's impossible to actually defeat you, right? Kuma's best hero pair, as I have mentioned, is Lake 1, and of course, if you are running Kuma in open field PvP, you have to be Kuma primary, and if you are doing rally, Lake 1 primary will be a correct choice because Lake 1 has talent tree for the rally. So basically, in my honest opinion, Kuma have been one of the best heroes in G4 Generation 4 heroes in Call of Dragons, and hopefully all the infantry players are really happy because Kuma gave them another hero pair which is fast in terms of march speed, which is tanky, which is dealing damage, which gives a lot of counter-attack damage back, and of course, I have seen the amount of merits infantry players actually got from the Kuma and Lake 1 hero pair, and if I'm comparing these two heroes, I believe Kuma is much better, basically OP. And yeah, I can honestly say that Kuma is the best hero infantry players have currently in the game, and I'm comparing all the infantry heroes in the game currently, which is really surprising because at some point I thought they would not make anything better than Goreshen's Kogul, and I was surprised. They made Kuma, and yeah, Kuma actually took the place of number one infantry hero in the game, right? We have one more hero which I want to speak much more, which is Youngmin, right? Youngmin is the mage hero which every single mage player was asking since the season 1, right? Can you imagine, like, Call of Dragons is basically online for almost 3 years, and for 2.5 years the best mage hero for a long time was Lilia, which is the Generation 1 hero, and after that, one of the best mage heroes was Mu Xiang, which is not even a mage hero, it's an overall hero, right? Which was, I don't know, it was not really looking good for mage players. I know they made like Bertrand, Fandolin, Thalia, Ohar, right? Lot of heroes were created, but none of them were answering the questions which all the mage players wanted to have, right? Which is dealing damage to multiple targets, and that's how basically mage players are getting those merits which they deserve, right? Mages are having the highest range, but they are the squishiest hero pair and troop type in the game. So why Youngmin is the best hero in the G4 Generation 4 heroes? Simply because Youngmin can deal damage to multiple targets, and that's not only the most important, right? Youngmin does not even have a rage, which means basically the longer you're gonna stay alive in the battlefield, more damage you are going to deal, and you don't even have to wait until your rage bar will be full. You are going to do a normal attack damage, and those splashes will do all the work, right? So yeah, basically, if you are a mage player, I would say Youngmin is the most important hero for your own gameplay, right? Unfortunately, G4 is quite far for you if you are just starting the game, but if you understand which ones are the OP heroes for every single troop type, it will be easier for you to make the decisions, and it will be easier for you to actually decide which heroes you want to have in your strongest hero pairs, right? So yeah, I honestly believe that the most OP heroes in Generation 4 is actually Young Ming and Kuma. You might say Gromara can be easily here, somewhere here. Yeah, let's give Gromara this one more plus, because Gromara is one of the best garrison heroes for mages, and Gromara actually giving the amount of buffs for Young Ming in general, like skill, damage factor buffs, which are really important. So we can easily have Gromara as a B tier, we can easily have Gromara as a last A tier, right? But yeah, Falgrim will be here. Falgrim is not better than Neya, Lake 1 or Gromara. Sibyl and Lei is basically the weaker version of Garrison and Rally heroes for archers and cavalry, but at least cavalry got Neya. Unfortunately, in G4 Heroes, archers got only Falgrim, which is not even OP. It's basically better than average, nothing really spectacular, right? So yeah, most important, which we have to know, Young Ming and Kuma is the best heroes, and good ones are Neya, Lake 1, and Gromara, right? Hopefully, after watching this video, it will be easier for you to decide which heroes you have to invest your legendary tokens or your funds. That's why these kind of videos are really important, because I have gotten a lot of messages from the players who were saying that they made a mistake by investing the tokens in a wrong heroes and they are not getting any results back in terms of merits, right? Hopefully this video will be helpful for you, and as always, if you like the video, press like, subscribe, share. It always gives me more and more motivation to make more content for this game. I wish everybody an amazing day, morning and night. We are going to see each other really soon. Bye bye and good luck.